What is up, everybody? Mario here, back again. Let's talk about a little movie that was released on Netflix a few days ago. It was released, in a couple theaters a couple weeks ago or months ago. I can't remember exactly when the theatrical release was, released. But it came out on Netflix not too long ago. One of the most anticipated movies of the year for myself. I'm sure for other movie fans as well. And that movie is Roma. And my oh my, do we have a lot to discuss, and I could go into further detail in an in-depth analysis video, but I want to stray away from those and do more of these discussion-based videos. So let's just briefly, as fast as I can, talk about the excellence, the importance, the masterwork of what this movie was able to accomplish, guys. So I'm gonna try to structure it as best as I can. This is by no means a review. It's just my thoughts. So let's just try to structure this out as best as I can. The acting, guys, in this movie was top class. It was absolutely incredible. And if you look at the cast, frankly, a lot of us wouldn't know who these people are. They aren't from this country. So, we wouldn't really know who these people are. But that shouldn't take away anything from this movie, guys, because this acting and this showcase in this movie was nothing short of incredible. I definitely believe some of these actors and actresses deserve to be nominated for Oscars. Now, will they be? Most likely not. Unfortunately, it is what it is. The Oscars are more of an American-based award show, so I'm not complaining. I just wish these, wonderful actors and actresses would get recognized, because these performances are some of the best I've seen all year. And something great to note is the main actress in this movie, which I won't even try to pronounce her name, but I'm gonna just leave it somewhere on the screen. This is her first movie ever. First performance, first movie ever. And to have this type of performance, this heartfelt of a performance, this sincere, I can't even think of, synonyms to describe how great of a performance this was. It is something otherworldly. I can't even comprehend how someone's first movie could be performed this well. I don't know her background. I don't know if she, was a theater major in Mexico. I don't know what she did, but I'm glad she was given a shot. I'm glad Cuaron gave her the opportunity to act in this movie, because now we have a new star in here, and maybe in Mexico too. She should be huge over there now. But I was glad she was given this opportunity, because she truly shined in this movie. She killed it along with everybody else. This is definitely an ensemble movie that everybody's performance mattered. If one person's was off, everything would feel off. So a great ensemble of a movie. I don't remember if it was nominated for the SAG Awards. I'd be pretty shocked if it didn't get the ensemble nomination. Pretty shocked. I think it should win it, mind you, but we'll get more into the Oscars or the award scene in a little bit, guys. In terms of the story, it was a slow story. It was a slow burn of a movie, but to me, it also felt fast-paced at the same time. Now, let me try to make sense of what I just said, because I don't even think I understand what I said. So in terms of how the story progressed through the movie, through the narrative, it was a slow snowball effect. It just kept going, getting larger, getting grander, and eventually it just became this big thing that just kind of exploded, and things happen in this movie that, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, but just things happen, and, things go haywire, and all this stuff happens, and characters' relationships are grown together and torn apart. And everything is happening at the last third act, just like any other movie. But it was a slow moving story. However, it was so captivating and so interesting to me that it felt fast at the same time. So even though I fully know that the story was told in a slow, methodical process, I understand that. And I will admit, yes, it's told in a slow manner. But the characters, the story, what was happening, how it was progressing was so intriguing to me. I was so fixated on the screen and what I was watching that before I knew it, 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 15, however long it is, it just flew by. And, I'm just staring at the screen wondering, where did it all go? And I've been seeing people saying that they think it's slow, and I agree, 100% agree that the progression is slow. But in my mind, how I felt about it, it felt very fast in terms of, by the time that it ended. So if you haven't seen this movie, what I just said, it probably sounds like such gibberish. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about. For those of you who have seen it and enjoyed it and loved it as much as I did, you probably know what I'm talking about. I would sure hope so. I tried to communicate it the best that I could to you guys. But if you haven't seen it, watch it. Maybe you'll get a sense of what I tried to formulate in terms of my thoughts here. I hope you do, because I really think I'm going somewhere with this, guys. I really want you guys to understand what I'm talking about. But with that out of the way, let's just move on. Now, this falls into the directing category. So let's just talk about the directing in general. He should win Best Director at the Oscars. 100%, hands down, no question. He should win it. Have I seen all the Oscar movies yet? No, I haven't. So why am I so confident that he should win the Best Picture? Or Best Director? Well, Best Picture as well, but Best Director Oscar. Well, let me explain in just a second. Let's talk about the more subtle things that he did that prove to me why he should win that Oscar. As someone who's been to Mexico, I've been there. I've seen the busy streets. I know what it's like over there. And I'm not saying that just because I know what it's like, I have this other connection that other people don't. I just know what it's like. Cuaron, 1-to-1, it captured what it's like, going out there, living in that atmosphere, in that, in that area to a T. And when there's scenes of the main character like running around in the city of Mexico, outside, out and about, and there's those huge crowds of people all lined up, doing different things, selling products, talking to people, walking back and forth, cars going by, whatever they may be doing. The fact that Cuarón was able to get all these people all in one crowd into one frame, and I know he didn't say this, but to essentially say, guys, act natural, act like you would if you're just in the streets of Mexico. Clearly he didn't say that, because if you don't, that's not good directing tips. And if that's what he said, then I apologize, because it worked. But chances are he didn't say that. So I don't know what his approach was, how on earth he was able to capture these busy streets of Mexico with this much precision and accuracy, because there was hundreds of people out on these city streets, guys, and all doing different things, interacting with each other. And it felt as if Cuarón placed the camera right in the middle of Mexico City, wherever he just put it right there, and made the camera somehow invisible to everybody else except the main actors and actresses, and then just went along his way and somehow captured these authentic people just doing what they're doing. Obviously he didn't do that, guys. I refuse to believe that's how it was done, obviously. But however he did it is way beyond me. It's something I wish I knew how he did, how to capture these huge busy streets of Mexico with such authenticity, feeling like a documentary at times. In all honesty, it blows my mind. It was one of the first few things I noticed about the directing and made me realize, yes, this is masterwork of directing going on right now. This is what it takes to be known as one of the greats. This is on his way up to the Spielbergs, to the Scorseses. He's got to do more work, more movies, obviously, but Cuarón is a master at what he does. He should absolutely be nominated for Best Director. 100% be nominated for Best Director. He should win it, guys. Maybe I'll go see A Star Is Born. Maybe I'll see A Star Is Born and think, no, Bradley Cooper, you deserve that Oscar. You deserve to win that Oscar over Alfonso Cuarón. If that's what happens, so be it, guys. I was wrong. And me acting the way I am is just stupid. But as of right now, as it stands currently, I just cannot really even fathom how there is superior directing showcased than in this movie, in all honesty. And to think that Alfonso Cuarón's only job was directing, it would be incorrect, guys, because He had a whole bunch of other things to do on this movie. He produced the movie, directed it, wrote the screenplay, and shot the movie. All of those 4 things, and all of those 4 departments are what you would guess. They're incredible. The screenplay, I would definitely nominate it and probably give it the win for best screenplay, guys. In all honesty, we talked about it before, but it was such a well told story, slow progression that felt fast, and it just blew my mind. So screenplay, we don't even have to really talk about it that much, but you know what to expect. It's an Alfonso Cuarón movie. If you've seen his movies that he's written, you know what you're getting yourself into, and you should expect nothing less than great things. Cinematography, you would think Emmanuel Lubezki, who usually shoots his movies, shot this. Now granted, there is a difference, absolutely, but the long takes, beautiful long takes that, mind you, aren't showy. Something I don't like too much about one takes nowadays is it grabs the audience by the shoulders and shakes them, saying, look at my one take, notice me. Not in this movie, guys. There were some times where I forgot that a shot was done in one take. It was used to serve the story and the movie, not as a means to make it this showy extravaganza of look at me, we can do one shot. And that's what I love about the cinematography here, is it was subtle. And I think that's the best word actually to describe what this movie is its execution is subtle. If you're not looking out for all these great things that were showcased in this movie, like the acting, like I mentioned before, the huge crowds in Mexico City, how everything was constructed, the shot composition, everything is so subtle in its execution, but it is so well done at the same time that, like I mentioned, if you're not paying attention to it, you won't even notice the mastery that's being showcased right now in the movie. So I'm getting a little sidetracked because my mind is racing, because this movie just makes my mind race. It's just so fantastic. The cinematography, like I mentioned before, shot in black and white, smooth, long takes, very wide angled lenses. It doesn't really have that much shallow depth of field. It's what you'd come to expect from an Alfonso Cuarón movie, in all honesty. So if you know what you're gonna expect, it's in this movie. I believe it's actually one of his better composited movies in terms of the shot composition. So, I mean, if you're an aspiring cinematographer, watch this movie and learn the craft of how to be subtle with your shot composition and your tracking shots and the color and, the blocking of the characters. Definitely watch it, study it, because this is one of the greatest movies to study, just because it isn't so in your face. It isn't so showy. It's just about serving the story. So definitely check that out in terms of just the cinematography. Now, something one of my YouTube friends, MC Talking Films, mentioned that I didn't even take that note of, was the sound mixing and editing. It was very, very good. And I'm upset that I really don't pay attention to the sound mixing and editing that much in movies, because guys, sound is everything. Sound is half of the motion picture experience. If you have bad sound, you have a bad movie. That's non-negotiable. If you have great sound and poor visuals but a great story, you'd be surprised what you could get away with in a motion picture, in all honesty. So I'm definitely gonna owe it to myself, and if you don't happen to do this already, is pay attention more to the sound. Pay attention to the sound, because it's a huge deal in movies. It is part of the reason why they are as intriguing and captivating as they are, and why we get so sucked into them, because the sound is so great. So once again, I didn't really pay attention to the sound all that much. I knew it was great. I knew it was there, obviously, but because of MC Talking Films, like I mentioned before, go check his channel out, even though he has way more subscribers than me, so chances are you already know who that is. Sound mixing and editing was great. I will definitely be paying attention more so to the sound department, especially as someone as myself who makes short films. I focus on a ton of sound in the production process, so why not focus so much on it when we're watching movies? Definitely gonna take more note of that in the future, guys. And just to really, finish this whole video off, this movie is a movie that reminded me why I love movies, why I want to create them, why I'm sitting in this chair talking to you guys right now. It is a movie that I don't like to use this word, but it is masterful in what it was able to do. Masterful. I really can't find a negative to really talk about in this movie. Maybe I could nitpick some things here and there. Sure, you could do that with any movie. But what Cuarón was able to do, he told such a human story. It was just about one woman in Mexico City, being a maid to this middle class, upper middle class family, what she had to go through, the hurdles she had to leap over in the story, all the setbacks. It was such a human story. It was very, I'm sure it could probably hit close to home to a lot of people, in Mexico. 100%. It was a very just personal story, human story, and the fact that it was told with such elegance and such, just done with such mastery of the filmmaking language. It is the reason why I want to make movies, guys. I hope to one day be able to even somehow manage to be half as good as Cuarón, 1/4 as good as a director or filmmaker as Cuarón is. A true inspiration to myself, and I would think many other people out there who want to be in this industry. It is a movie that reminds me again why I'm here, why I'm talking about movies with such passion, why I want to make them. It is an incredible movie, guys. I don't know how much more I can sell it to you guys, and if I haven't already, at the end of the day, I probably can't sell it to you anymore because I'm really pouring my heart out to you guys about this movie, just of how great it was. So there isn't really much more for me to add, guys. Like, the acting was incredible, story incredible, direction, screenplay, shot composition, sound, all across the board incredible. If I had to give it a rating, 9.5, 9.8 out of 10. I don't really like rating movies based on a number scale because my own words and what I'm talking to you and discussing about with you guys should be enough for you to kind of gauge where I would rank this movie. But it is, I believe, my favorite Cuarón movie that he's ever made. In due time, a couple months, maybe that'll change, but I feel pretty certain it's my favorite Cuarón movie. Should probably win Best Picture, should win Best Director, should win Best Screenplay. Will it win all those things? Probably not. I really don't think so for whatever reason. But like I said before, guys, if I haven't sold you on this movie before yet, I don't know if I ever will. All I can say, guys, is give this movie a shot. It is a masterwork of filmmaking all across the boards. If you're into filmmaking, you owe it to yourself to watch this movie, learn it, dissect it, because there is great things going on that maybe I didn't even catch on my first viewing. I'll watch it a couple more times, obviously, for sure. So with that all being said, guys, I hope you guys have a good one. I hope I inspire you to watch another movie, and if you already have seen it, maybe you agree with me or disagree with me. Let me know in the comment section below. With that being said, I'll catch you guys next time.